And when he told me and my wife that, yeah, we're gonna take your stomach, we were like, what? We didn't understand, like, I didn't know you can live without a stomach. And so that was a whole learning process. Hi, my name's Greg Myers. I live in California City, California, a little small desert town out in the middle of nowhere. When I was 49 years old, I was diagnosed with stomach cancer. At the beginning of 2021, I had started to have trouble swallowing food. It got worse and worse over like a 3 or 4 month period. Finally, in June, I went to my primary care physician. She referred me to a local gastroenterologist. The doctor told me that they had found a mass at the junction of my stomach and my esophagus. It was about 3 weeks later when he told us that it was cancer. Lots of tears, and called and told the kids, and everybody was scared, including myself. I learned that there's not a very high survival rate for it over a 5-year period. My doctor told me that I had the CDH1 gene mutation, which is a cause for hereditary diffuse gastric cancer. So we knew right then that I was gonna have a total gastrectomy. What came along with that news was worse for me, actually, because both my kids got tested. Both of them were positive for the CDH1. My daughter was 27 and my son was 25. After talking with genetic counselors and stuff, they both decided they were gonna get a prophylactic total gastrectomy, just like I was getting, so that they could prevent, possibly develop the cancer in their stomachs. Our house was a kind of a hospital ward for people recovering for 3 or 4 months there, and my wife was the one who took care of all of us. It was a rough year. My initial treatments, I was on chemo, 4 rounds of chemo, and it was FLOT chemo. So part of that regimen is oxaliplatin. And oxaliplatin was the one medication that really I had side effects from. I had my first reoccurrence, I think it was in 23. I went through a series of treatments called HIPEC. They give you the drugs, the chemotherapy drugs, in a surgery, right? So they stick some tubes in you and they swirl the chemotherapy drugs around in your abdomen for about an hour, hour and a half. So it's deep contact. I did that 5 times. My capacity for eating has gone down quite a bit. They put me on TPN. They feed me intravenously that way. So I get my chemo through my port, and then I get fed through my veins here on my PICC line. I just started taking Vyloi, zolbetuximab. I think I've done 5 rounds of chemo with it. I really haven't had too many side effects. How am I doing now? I'm doing pretty good. Mostly I'm just tired a lot, but other than that, I do pretty good. I try to eat as much as I can through my mouth. I try to eat like 1,000 calories a day, but a lot of days I can't even get 300 calories, so it just depends on the day. Overall, hey, I'm here, and can't beat that. My kids, the frequency they see the doctors has decreased. It's like once a year for them now. As of right now, both of my kids are cancer-free, and so that's great. We found Hope for Stomach Cancer a couple of years ago. It seemed like a really good group of people. It's cool to be around other people who are experiencing the same things that you are in life. There's some great people in that organization. And when we went to advocacy days in Washington, D.C., we got to go talk to our congressman and tell them our stories in order to try to get more funding for especially stomach cancer research. Right now, all I'm trying to do is stay alive long enough so that maybe some drug will come out that'll help. And in order to do that, we needed to try to get more funding for stomach cancer research. Some other things I want to say about funding cancer research, just in general. It's super important, right? No one thinks they're going to get cancer. I didn't think I was going to get cancer. We need way more funding, because when someone gets this, either it's you or in your family, you crash land on that cancer island. It's like, whoa, then you start finding out these new drugs are hard to develop. They take time. You're just trying to survive long enough for hopefully some drug is going to come out that's going to save your life. In order to do that, you have to have money. And the amount of money that cancer research gets right now is just not enough.